So, what do you see as the hot trends, or like what seems to be working well and growing, and where do you see the opposite, like shrinking markets or maybe not so hot, um, besides the
Yeah, I
ones.
guess um yeah, so the like the trends, I'd say some of the trends that we see are a couple things. So one on the program side, we're seeing more requirements and specificity for providing solar and benefits to low to moderate income areas and
Hmm.
subscribers and residents. And so you're starting to see programs require certain amounts of the solar community solar project be subscribed by these LMI residents.
Communities. Yep.
Yep, communities. And you're also starting to see, and there's programs like Illinois has a whole, kind of separate program targeted for LMI communities. Um, and
And in most of these markets, the residents are getting a 5 to 10% discount to their electric bill, or more perhaps.
yeah, usually it's at least 10, could be more. For example, in Illinois, there's a community driven community solar part of, so when you think about all the different awards for projects,
Hmm.
so everybody wants to get awards for Illinois Community Solar to get RECs, and so that way they can have some nice value on the project. There's different tiers, so they have most of the projects are in this traditional community solar bucket, and then there's a carve out for a certain number of projects that have more community driven benefits. And with those projects, for example, 20% of the, I think 20% of the subscribers need to be LMI related, and they need to be given at least a 20% discount to their power. And so typical
Uh-huh.
discounts are more like 10.
Yeah,
Um, and
makes
so they
sense.
get a little bit more of a benefit as
Got it.
well. So other trends that we're seeing, starting to see, these markets that are more saturated, like New York, like Massachusetts, probably Illinois pretty soon. Interconnection timing and upgrade costs are just getting really, really large and long,
Yeah,
and being hard for the projects. The permitting seems to be getting harder and longer as well.
yeah,
And all of that just makes it a little harder to, it's a longer time horizon. You're talking
yeah.
about, some real dollars that go into developing these projects, and it's hard to wait
That
two
long.
years. Yeah, I mean,
Right.
we've talked about some projects that are thinking about putting a couple projects together to justify, larger upgrade costs. But
Hmm.
the timing on that can be like 2, 3, 4 years before those
Wow.
upgrades get completed.
Yeah, the whole it seems like the whole grid in the US is going to be so overloaded with so much extra capacity coming online. And I think it was Elon Musk interview that I saw recently, where he was talking about where transistors and transformers are going to be the bottleneck in the growth of energy in the US, unless we
Mm.
start putting batteries right on site at the point of consumption, which is not happening fast enough, and the batteries are still not cheap enough for that to happen for most people, but or for most
Yeah,
applications, I would say. But
I
it's gonna
I mean,
eventually have to happen.
the grid is the grid's a mess.
Yeah,
There's a lot of innovation and support that needs to go into that over time, especially as this transition to more renewable resources is underway. And
yeah.
batteries are a piece of the puzzle, but they're not the only solution. And so figuring out ways to help support the grid and the interconnection process, and some of the really important equipment like a transformer, getting those more regularly available and quicker turnaround are all super important.
Yeah.